When I got out of the military, I had a hard time translating my military experience into the civilian world. I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for my wife, I probably would have been that homeless or impoverished vet. But it can be easier with the right support. I'm Mark Casper, and I'm the Executive Director of Tech4Troop's. In today's world, you have to have a computer to be able to apply for jobs. Our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce.
Here at Tech4Troop's, we're here to push you forward to get you back to where you want to be in life. When the veterans come in, I teach them everything you could think of that's done with a computer. I want them to feel that this is a tool that's going to help them get their life back.
I went into a kind of a deep depression. Eventually, I lost my job and I was out on the street. The computer was able to connect me to the web, and I was able to start putting resumes out. And you have to have these small building blocks to get from point A to point B. I'm not worried about employment anymore.
The need is great, and we want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
Welcome, everyone, to the Tech4Troop's Wilkesboro 200. I am Rick Souza, and I'm joined here in the booth by my co-host, John DeRudris. Welcome to the IWM broadcast network of the Tech4Troop's Cup Series. John, we've got an interesting race tonight.
Yes, we do. It is not at a track that traditionally has been on the schedule in the past, 20, 30 years or so, but actually will be on the schedule starting next season. North Wilkesboro making its comeback as the All-Star race, and we're getting a little preview of potentially what these cars will look like coming up next year. So these Tech4Troop drivers, it's going to be their first time on this track in this new next-gen car, and let's expect to see some wild things. We saw some pretty crazy moves in practice that you may see at the end of the race that may look very reminiscent of Martinsville, if you know what I'm saying. It's going to be a fun race. The track it's an old surface, and that always produces slick conditions. Tire wear is going to be a factor in this one, as well as maybe one stop. I don't know what's going to happen, but let's take a look at some of the track facts for tonight. Tech4Troop's Wilkesboro 200, presented by Tech4Troop's 1111 Veterans Project, U-Haul, and Elite Performance Industries. A 200 lap event here with 60% fuel. We have been told that they can make it about 100 to 110 laps on a tank of gas if they stay green, which means this could be a one-stop race, but I don't know if I'd really recommend that because of the tire situation. Pit road speed is 35 miles an hour. They have one quick repair, 5 sets of new tires, and only 14 incident points before you are either black flagged or completely disqualified. So they lowered that for this race. to try to keep the racing cleaner and a little bit more efficient. So, Rick, it's going to be a fun one. Plus, the track temperature is very, very hot. It's 117 degrees, which seems like a lot for a 72-degree day, but it's going to be a fun one out there in North Wilkesboro.
Looking forward to it, but certainly these guys have got their hands full. This car is an interesting car to drive on this track. It takes a lot of good throttle management, and maybe that leads us into exactly what your keys to the race are.
Absolutely. So, keys to the race. Number 1, tire conservation. So, it's going to be just crucial to preserve tires and not pushing the car too hard in the beginning, because, you know, it's going to go by pretty quick. They can get about 3 laps in a minute here. So this race will go by fast once it starts moving along. So who's able to ever save their tires the best will be there at the end. The second, let's say we do have some green flag stops. Getting on and off pit road is going to be tricky. You see the 25 of Hermes Castro right there already practicing. You basically just come right off the racing surface into pit road. Same thing with the exit of pit road. So it's very dangerous, and it'll probably cause a little bit of chaos. And then 3, passing. This is a one-groove racetrack. It's pretty much like Martinsville is, minus the Ross Chastain move up on the high side. But you can only really pass down on the bottom lane. You can't really pass on the high side. It's a one-groove track, so we'll see how that factors in. But whoever's able to preserve their tires, get on and off pit road cleanly, and who's able to either preserve the passing and not have to push the issue or do most of the passing will be victorious here tonight at the end of the Tech4Troop's North Wilkesboro 200. So we got some qualifying times on the board, Rick. Looks like mostly everybody.
Yeah, looks like there's just a handful of drivers who have not qualified. They may choose not to. Unfortunately, that's Freddie Durstock there, and he may be starting at the back of the track.
Good thing qualifying cars don't transition over to race time cars, because if that was the case, Freddie would have a blown motor. So looks like everybody has finished qualifying. The grid is lining up here at the start-finish line, and let's get your starting lineup for tonight's Tech4Troop's Wilkesboro 200. Starting on the pole in that 08 machine is Ryan Pittman. What a absolute fantastic way to start off this race on the pole. In second, you have Christopher Worrell in the number 8 car. In third, Ian Ogden, AJM driver. In fourth, Alonzo King Jr. He's won a couple of times. We'll see if he's able to bring home another win, with Letta starting in fifth. Your current points leader, Joey Doucette out of AJM, is starting in sixth, with Mark Feeney in seventh. Christopher Howe, your reigning Tech4Troop's Cup Series champion, starting in eighth. In the 88, with Luke Bullard in ninth, and Austin Armstrong rounding out your top 10.
Paul Valenstein is in the 11th slot. 12th is Marco Berube in the 99. In 13th, you've got Mike Slagter in the 14. In 14th slot, Zachary Allen in the 24. In the 15th slot, William Mann Jr. in the 29. On the outside, Bobby Gibson in the 28. In 17th position, Freddie Durstock Sr. in the 5. And on the outside, Ty Bostic in the 22. In 19th, Matt McComas in 19th slot. And in 20th, David Watts in the 54. In 21st, Pete Woodrum in the 1. And 22nd, Joey Thompson in the 31. On the outside, Brad Previtt in the 91, and in 24th position, Hermas Castro, and Sean Schupman rounds out the field in 25th position.
I'm very curious to see how that 24th position is going to play out with Hermas Castro starting in the back. It's going to be an interesting race, to say the least. It looks like lights are off on the pace car. They're not going to drop down just yet. The field's not even formed up. We're going to get one more time around here. We'll see how this plays out.
Well, and that's the thing with these short tracks, a little bit different than a mile and a half or a super speedway. There's that extra lap or so, and we'll see that a little bit probably on these pace laps as well.
Yes, we will. And, you know, one thing I've heard in practice, turn 4 is loose. There is no grip out of turn 4. We'll see if the turn 4 monster here at Northborough comes out tonight. We'll see what happens.
We've got our
Looks
cameras
like,
focused on our lead. Pace car is
makes
off.
its way down. And
Green flag.
race. Here we go at North Wilkesboro. What
Careful.
a jump. The outside lane got a great jump inside. Didn't run 3 wide back in the pack as the 8 car of Christopher Worrell takes the lead.
We're scrolling a bit through the back of the field here, just making sure everybody gets off. Well, we'll come back and pick up the lead pack.
And there's Christopher Worrell, the number 8 machine. He is your leader. 2 going on 3 laps into this race. Now, like I said, this is going to be quick if they can keep this race clean and green, because you can do about 3 laps in a minute. So you do some math there. It's not going to be that long of a race if you consider that. We have a car spinning on the inside grass. They have stopped. Not sure who that is.
That's
the
Ian
21
Ogden.
machine of Ian Ogden in that throwback Valvoline paint scheme to Neil Bonnet and William Byron, if you want to consider that. And there's Hermats Castro in the 25 machine up in the high lane. You know, he's our high line warrior. Don't think he'll be able to do much in the high line unless he's pulling a Ross Chastain late in the race. But unfortunate for Ian Ogden. We'll see if he's able to get back in the race. There's Brad Previtt there on the inside line. Looks like everybody is starting to separate and get single file.
I think the admins are going to be very conservative. And I take that back. That's Ty Bostic, I think, may have spun. Let's go back and look at that.
Yep, about 15 cars back.
Yep.
Oh, literally just got on the wrong part of the track, slides back up, nose first into the concrete wall. Was able to keep the car up there. It's a beautiful paint scheme he's got going on tonight. And that brings out our first caution of the night here, 6 laps in.
Well, it's not to say we didn't expect some cautions. We anticipated that was going to happen. It's unfortunate, but this is a 0.63 of a mile track, just over half a mile around. These, as John had indicated, these cars get around quickly, 3 times per minute, and it's got an older racing surface, and it's just hard. It just takes a lot of practice with brake and throttle balance.
It really is, and right now Christopher Worrell is your leader. He's been able to get out there and get out front ahead of Ryan Pittman and take the lead. And that's where I think you need to be in this race, is out front, not worrying about what's happening. Manu got a lucky dog coming around the high side. Everybody was kind of double foul there.
Yeah, that's Brad.
To get his lap back.
He's I think Brad's a couple laps down, so that's probably good for him to get at least one back.
So, go ahead, Rick.
I was going to say it's a good shot here we've got from the inside of Chris Worrell's Chevrolet. You get a good full. The crowd is packing the stands like they will next May for the All-Star race. You can see how close they bring the campers right up to that retaining wall. Now you will see some changes in real life. This is a scan of the old North Wilkesboro per se, where they just have concrete walls and a relatively shortened pit road. So that will change. They're installing right now as we speak safer barrier around the whole outside of the track and a elongated pit entry, which actually starts on the middle of the backstretch.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting to see, you know, and that was actually going to be the first track fact for tonight, is that this track will be back on the calendar starting, like you said, Rick, in May of 2023. You know, this track has been around since the 40s, and it was originally dirt, and now it's concrete, and so it's going to have some major improvements going into next year, and the racing surface is going to be even tighter with the addition of that safer barrier. But yeah, first track fact is this track is going to be back on the Cup calendar in May of 2023 for the All-Star race. Pit Road is busy with that pace car, and we are green flag racing.
Oh, a
back
big
again.
jump. Big jump by Chris Worrell.
Absolutely. Ryan Pittman did not get a good start there in the 08 machine, and it looks like everybody is starting to fan out here back at North Wilkesboro, lap 11, and we have another caution. I think that was the involving possibly the one of Pete Woodrum. I don't know. That was about 15 cars back again.
Yeah, I think it was Zachary Allen may have. Let's go back to that yellow flag. Let's see what brought that out. Zachary Allen is in that 24 right there.
Wow. What a move by Bobby Gibson to get out of the way, though. Fantastic.
Unfortunately, the 31 of Joey Thompson was not as lucky. He wound up nosing right into the front of the 24.
Let's see if we can ride on board with that 24 machine. I don't know if he got loose out of 2 and it just carried through the backstretch. If he got just kind of loose out of, out of nowhere. He's on the inside line right here. You could already see, yep, got sideways. Yep, he got on the apron a little too low. And when that happens, you're at a rude awakening there as the field is approaching you. There's another wreck. Wow, we did not catch that.
Yeah, that was William Mann Jr., I think, was also involved. Let's go. You can see this from here.
I believe he was involved with Bobby Gibson, potentially. Oh, no, he was trying to avoid it and just got loose.
It's like he sideswiped the 37 as well. So, yep, we're going to see all those chills and spills tonight. That was Sean Shootman at 37. So, all right, 14 laps in.
14 laps in, 2 cautions down, and the good thing about racing here at North Wilkesboro is this track is very small, so cautions go by quick. And, it's not like sitting around at Talladega for 2.5 minutes waiting around. So let's see. Another track fact about North Wilkesboro. I kind of mentioned it earlier. But did you know that it opened with only 3,000 seats in 1947 and mainly hosted stock car competition, which exploded after World War II, obviously. And it was started as a dirt track. So just imagine if we could go back in time and throw some dirt here on North Wilkesboro. Just imagine what that would be like. That'd be pretty crazy because you have long straightaways and these turns are wide. And so it's going to be, that would be, if iRacing could come back and maybe add some dirt to North Wilkesboro. That'd be a fun little add-on. I mean, it would probably be crazier than what it is already, but still be fun.
That's what they had talked about. Once they brought this back and they did the modifieds there, they had talked about tearing up the racing surface and putting down dirt and then resurfacing it, but that got nixed. They basically said they wanted to retain a good bit of this racing surface and just kind of re-energize that. So they got rid of the tear it up, rip it out approach.
I think it's a good move. I really do. I mean, it preserves the history of this track, and Dale Jr. was a big factor in that. As we have pace cars dropping off again, our third restart of the night is away. There goes Christopher Worrell to the lead with Alonzo King. Right behind him in second, and the field is now side by side. Coming out of turn 2, here goes Alonzo King to the bumper of the 8 machine, and another caution.
That was Brad Previtt, who may have got involved. Let's go take a look at what happened to Brad Previtt here.
Oh.
He got, unfortunately, tagged in the back by the 24 of Zachary Allen. And that's all it takes.
Yep. Stayed off the outside wall, so that was great. But, a little bit of different braking lines there between the 91 and the 24 machine. So glad to see Brad keeping it off the wall. But that brings out our third caution of the night. And I got to pull up another track fact, Rick. I wasn't even ready.
Well, we're only 18 laps in. But, yeah,
Yep. So did you know that after a decade of dirt racing, North Wilkesboro was paved in 1957, followed by the inauguration of long-distance racing in 1960. So, you know, this track has been around for quite a while, and through its ups and downs and its continuations and discontinuations of racing, it has been a asphalt/concrete track, however you want to say that, non-dirt track, let's say that, since 1957. So you're looking back 60, 70 plus years right there of this track having this surface. So there you go, and we'll continue with the track facts as these drivers continue around North Wilkesboro. We are 10% of the way through tonight's Tech4Troop's North Wilkesboro 200. We thank you for tuning in to tonight's event, and these drivers appreciate it as well, you supporting these guys out here every single week. And since Thanksgiving passed, we hope you had a great Thanksgiving holiday and a fun weekend. So back to it. Here we are in the Tech4Troop Cup Series. And Rick, right now, Joey Doucette is sitting in third, your current point leader, with Christopher Howell on his bumper. The AJM guys strong right there. You see 3 of their cars in third, fourth, and sixth. They're always strong contenders every week. We'll see how they span out as this race goes on. But Joey Doucette is, it seems like he's always in the mix every single week.
Oh, he's right there. We expect to see him. You know, we're seeing the same thing now. That weaving you see is Austin Armstrong. I'm just not quite sure just how much that's going to help that number 13 cookout vehicle. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, but that's a beautiful throwback scheme. I gotta love that. It's like a USAA cookout scheme, I believe. Pretty cool to see something like that on track. So
we've got plenty of time, John. We'll take a walk back through the contenders, just get a feel for who's racing what. We'll see how that goes.
Absolutely. So here we are. Field is double file. 179 laps to go here tonight. Pace car lights are off. We're about to get green flag racing back underway. They hit that line, and green flag racing in here in North Wilkesboro for the 4th restart of tonight's race. We'll see what happens as Christopher Worrell still commands the lead with Alonzo King now go to the bottom side going down into turn 3. We'll see if he's able to make it stick. He is, for the time being, not able to do it off turn 4. Worrell retains the lead.
Well, with only 24 laps and frankly really not under, only about half of that under race speed, these tires still have a lot of grip still in them. That may change as we get deeper into this pit stop strategies. They do have 5 sets tonight, so.
Yeah, plenty of sets, and we'll see how long that lasts. And also, I'm noticing, I'm listening to the number 8 machine right now. I believe he's actually downshifting in that P1 position, which is definitely the way you want to go here with the track that we are at. Typically at short tracks, and especially in this next-gen car, you will see downshifting back going into corners. So we'll see how long that lasts for the 8 machine. But as it stands right now, your top 10 as it stands with Christopher Worrell in first, Alonzo King in second, Christopher Howell in third, Joey Doucette in fourth, Paul Valenstein in fifth, Harley Barletta in sixth, Armstrong in seventh, Pittman in eighth, Feeney in ninth, and Luke Bullard rounding out your top 10.
We'll take a run through the field slowly. If you see your favorite driver, you can cheer him on. You're welcome to log in.
King, hold on to it. That's going to bring out a caution. Well, we caught that one, didn't we?
We sure did.
Turn 4 Monster got one of the best we've seen here in the Tech4Troop's Cup Series. Multiple wins under his belt. Alonzo King out of West Virginia in that number 80 machine.
Yeah, no need for a replay. You saw that live.
Yeah, you saw that live, and it's going to be like that throughout the entire event, I believe. It's going to be so important to do that. And look at this. Guys coming down pit road, maybe getting some tires. Interesting move. We do have about 20, maybe 15 to 17 laps. I don't know if I want to say 20 laps on these set of tires, but Alonzo King is making his way down. But here's the issue, Rick. I think he may get lapped. Here comes the field right by the 80 machine. I think this could be I mean, I know he's calculated on this, but he just got lapped.
Yep, he sure did. Of course, now he's what he's probably also gambling on is the fact that we are seeing this is our 4th caution after only 30 laps, and he is right now, I think he is on the lead lap. I mean, he's 1 lap down. So, so he and Brad Previtt are 1 lap down. So he's counting on getting that lap back.
I mean, right now, I don't think that's a bad bet. I really don't, because we've seen a lot of cautions early on here, 4 cautions in 31 laps. But the danger of going all the way to the back of the field, Rick, is simply that, going into the back of the field. The risk of getting involved in an incident is much higher when you're back there compared to his 2nd place position when he was up there in the front. So we'll see how he's able to bounce back. There's another throwback scheme, I guess you would say, out of Paul Valentine right there. Cool paint scheme, gotta say.
I think that harkens back to his dad, who was involved in racing years ago.
Absolutely love that. Look at that. And Rick, tell us about what these drivers they're sporting some different paint schemes tonight. What's kind of going on with the paint schemes here? Well, what do we got as a prize, I believe?
So, interestingly enough, our sponsor, Tech4Troop's, has sponsored additionally a paint scheme skirmish. They call it the skirmish on the Speedway. And they give a $5 Amazon card. They pick it out. The Tech4Troop's representative, they make a selection within Tech4Troop's as to who has the best themed car for the evening, and they'll come on later tonight, either announce it directly or they'll let the broadcast team know. We'll let you know.
There it is. So, it's more than just you're racing out there. It's all about the style points, the creativity, and what you're able to do from a paint scheme perspective. So multiple different paint schemes here tonight for that skirmish on the Speedway. But it looks like we're about to get green flag racing again. You got Whirl, Howell, the 8, the 88 up front. Both Christophers, I mean, literally they're the same person, basically, at this point. But now off. Green flag racing again. And Christopher Whirl.
Another great jump.
Big jump. And that's what you got to do here at North Wilkesboro. You see the field spanning out here. We've seen cautions happen right about now on the track. Looks like everybody has kept their car straight. Gonna hold my breath when I say that.
Well, you have to separate yourself because there's lots of things that happen back in the field. And as you noted earlier, it's about breaking points. If the guy in front of you is going in more aggressively or just decides to back out of that corner before you do, you're at the mercy. You're going to get his bumper.
Absolutely. You may be the windshield or you may be the bug. Either way, you could be either one or both of those here tonight at North Wilkesboro. Right now, Christopher Whirl putting on a heck of a show out front there in the number 8 machine with a commanding lead. There's the 14 of Slacker and the 37 machine as well, with William Mann Jr. behind him trying to get back up into the field. There's Matt McComas there in the 10 machine with the 21 of Ian Ogden behind them.
He had made his way back up through the field.
Great move. There's Pete Woodrum in the 1.
The 24 of Zachary Allen. You got Bobby Gibson back there in the 28 Dr. Pepper.
And Dr. Pepper sounds really good right now, Rick.
You got the 5 of Freddie Dursock, and behind him, David Watts in that military-themed 54. Looks like he's got all the emblems of the different armed forces branches on that car.
Love that scheme. Love the blue.
Yep, David was the winner of last week's Tech4Troop's skirmish on the Speedway.
We'll see if he can win back-to-back. There's Brad Previtt right there. He has gotten his lap back, and then there's Hermes Castro.
Interesting.
Yep. It looks like he's taking it very easy here at North Wilkesboro. And there's what's going to be your next car that is going to have possibly, it should be, Alonzo King is going to be your lucky dog when the caution comes out.
Well, interesting enough, Hermas Castro is also 1 lap down.
Yeah, so there's that. I mean, we'll see what happens. I actually take that back, Rick. Hermas Castro would be the first car
He
a lap
would.
down at
That
this
is
current
correct.
moment.
Yep.
So he would be the lucky dog. We'll see what happens. Could this be a very risky move for Alonzo King? I think so, but we'll see what happens. Maybe he's accounting for everything going green. Maybe he knows something we don't, and the rest of the race will go green. He'll come down pit road after everybody else does, or he'll take the lead pits. But right now, it looks like the 25 machine is actually taking some lessons from the 8 car, trying to learn this track. And I actually love that move. We know Mr. Castro can drive. He's won a race here. A little loose and low, very high. That high line, I mean, that doesn't really work here, Mr. Castro. I mean, it actually did kind of work for him there. I was kind of surprised he was able to get that run off the corner. But he's learning.
Yeah, he's gone to school.
Yeah, I mean, he's running much quicker lap times right now. Look at that high lane work. He's doing something different than all the rest of the drivers. Look at the run he's going to get off of turn 2. I mean, great run. I mean, great learning lesson here for the 25 machine, as he's now caught up to the back bumper of that 8 car of Christopher Worrell. Oh, backed out.
Yeah, well, interestingly enough, Christopher Worrell was at 1911, and Hermas Castro on that last lap was a 1908. So he was matching his speed maybe a little better with that high line.
Well, we'll see what happens with Castro, as he is now the first car a lap down, and we are almost a fourth of the way through, Rick, of this race. Those cautions were abundant in the beginning, but we've had green flag racing here for the last 10-15 laps or so. So right now, as it stands, let's take your way through the top 10 for tonight's Tech4Troop's Wilkesboro 200. There is your leader, Chris Worrell, in that number 8 car. In second, you have the previous Tech4Troop Cup Series champion, Christopher Howell, looking to get his first win of the season in that 88 machine. In third, Austin Armstrong with that throwback USA scheme. Gotta love that. He'll be in contention more than likely for tonight's skirmish of the Speedway, with Paul Valentine there in P4. Looking to have a great run. He needs it for sure with some of the luck he's had recently, so good to see Paul running out front. In fifth, Joey Doucette, your current point series, or your current point leader, getting a little loose right there. Going to let Ryan Pittman maybe by on the outside of the 08. Mark Feeney running a throwback Miller scheme. Gotta love that one. In the number 73, having a great run in P7. In 8th, Arlie Barletta, still trying to find that win here this season. We'll see if he's able to get it done here tonight, with Luke Bullard right behind him in the number 3 machine. He is looking for another great run. We've seen him counting at your top 10 after an incident early on in the race is the 29 machine of William Mann Jr. Love that paint scheme, love the flames, love the 29 on that old Camp Camaro, and he's getting some pressure right now from the 37 to 14 for 10th. There's Sean Shootman. Mike Slacker.
Yep, you've got the 99 of Marco Berube right there. Marco is currently running in the 13th spot. Ian Ogden has made his way back up to 14th in that throwback Valvoline paint scheme, the 21. Ty Bostic is behind him. Ty is currently running in the 15 slot. Behind Ty sits the 24 of Zachary Allen. Pete Woodrum behind the 24 in that number 1. A bit farther back in 18th spot is Matt McComas, and Bobby Gibson in that 28 Dr. Pepper car. David Watts is all alone back there in the 20th position in that 54 military paint scheme. And then Hermas Castro, we were just talking about, is running up there. He's in the top 10 physically, but just not, he's currently in 21st position. Ernie Durstock is in 22nd. Brad Previtt is back there as well. And Alonzo King is still trying to get his lap back. Joey Thompson, John, has retired. So we've got one casualty so far from North Wilkesboro. One driver has decided to call it a day. But it's like Christopher Worrell has got a nearly 2-second lead on this field. And you know what? At North Wilkesboro, that's an entire corner and a half.
It is. I mean, it's a ninth of the track if you look at some of the times that were shown up there in practice and qualifying with 18-second lap times. So right now, Christopher Worrell putting on a good showing. You know, Rick, these lap times aren't really falling off too much. Christopher Worrell with an 18.7, Howell with an 18.9. You know, these times aren't really suffering too badly here. We'll see if this continues, but we are already a fourth of the way through this event, and Christopher Worrell is putting on a clinic, an absolute clinic. He got past Ryan Pittman and was like, sayonara, I'm going.
Yeah, he was out of there. So let's jump back to a little bit further back here in the field. There's a lot of passing going on back here with Paul Ballenstein, Austin Armstrong, and Ryan Pittman. There's a big battle back here for third, fourth, and fifth. That's the 08 of Ryan Pittman trying to get around the 89 of Paul Ballenstein. You can see Hermas Castro riding that outside wall on the outside there, and Austin Armstrong trying to figure out how he's going to get past these guys.
Yeah, he's trying to figure it out on that high lane, and it can work. You just got to be patient, and you have to make sure you know your full control. Because right now we're seeing almost 3 distinct lines being formed. 25 taking the high approach up there, but the 13 of Armstrong trying to find his way around the 89 and the 08. You see Ryan Pittman trying to get to the inside there of Ballenstein right there in third, and we have a caution, Rick.
Yeah, looks like Alonzo King may have been involved. Let's go back and take a look at that.
This is the risk you play.
Yep. When you are in the back of the field, let's let this run through, see if we can see what happened.
Oh, just got crowded. Just 99 did not know he was there. Mark Ruby was not aware.
Yep, he just came right up and squeezed him in. Unfortunately, that takes out Marco a bit as well. I think Ty Bostic. Oh, that's a lot of damage. And there's.
You had a stack up. You just had the accordion effect. Let's go back and kind of take a look at that, because he got turned at the absolute worst point of this track, because he hit that inside basically, or that outside exit of the track. Let's run this again.
We do have pit stops happening right now, so let's go.
We do. He gets turned right here, and then you see the car dip in, and he hits that outside wall. That is the exit there on the track, and that just shoots the 80 machine of Alonzo King to the inside. And that's the danger, Rick, of doing that move under caution and coming down pit road as they continue to wreck after the fact.
Let's jump back to Ty Bostic. I'm not sure what happened to Ty there. Let's just see what happened, what caused Ty to wreck.
I believe he was the one that slammed into the back of the, was it the 99 machine of Berube?
Let's see.
It appears Ty going in the turn 1 and 2. There's where Berube gets it. There's that. Gets run to the back of by the 24 of Zachary Allen. That's what happened there. for Mr. Bostic. Unfortunate for those drivers. But right now, that is our 5th caution of the night with 133 to go here at North Wilkesboro. And it looks like we have a new leader. Austin Armstrong has taken the lead from Christopher Worrell.
Number of drivers stayed out on that. Saw I think the 80 and the 25 may have stayed out. Try to get their lap back. There we go.
And while we're under this caution, Rick, really quick, I'm trying to find some track facts. Recent modifications of this track and expansion have increased reserve seating to more than 30,000. So it has 10x'd its original seating capacity back in the 40s from 3,000 up to 30,000 plus seats. So there's your track fact under caution. Here we go again, Rick. Green flag racing and Austin Armstrong.
He took
as
he was tapped by the 88, taking him out.
Big wreck.
That took out the 8. There was Christopher Howell, was it not? Let's go back and
Christopher Howell got into the back of Christopher Worrell.
Well, that's not good. I don't think any of those guys will be too happy with that.
There's the 8, 88, and 08. 89, the 11. Feeney got involved. Luke Bullard got involved. The 21 of Ian Ogden got. So did Bobby Gibbs.
Well, I mean, that was the front of the field. They basically clogged that entire turn 1, turn 2 with that mess. You can watch this from inside of Christopher Howell.
Yep, just unfortunate there. Just had the 8 come down. The 8 come down, and there's Freddie Durstock on the outside getting his lap back. So Freddie Durstock, 1 lap down, going to be back on the lead lap here at North Wilkesboro. While we're under caution, did you know that the last Cup Series race was held here in North Wilkesboro in 1996? So almost 26 years since that last race, and it'll be 27 spring. We will have racing back here at North Wilkesboro. So it's been a while. There comes the 54 of David Watts down pit road. But Austin Armstrong is your leader here with 75 laps complete out of 200. And our Tech4Troop's Wilkesboro 200.
We want to say thank you to all of our sponsors out there tonight. That's Tech4Troop's, our 1111 Project, U-Haul, and EPI. Without our sponsors, these races and these events couldn't possibly happen. So we thank them for this, and we appreciate their continued support. All right, well, we are at lap 74 of a scheduled 200. Let's take this opportunity to run a quick side-by-side. You're not going to miss much of the caution or the restart. Well, we'll wait till we get back to the restart, then we'll go from there. Just realized the lights are off on top of the pace car.
Hey, like I said earlier, cautions go by quick here at North Wilkesboro. So here we go, the 13 out in front with Pittman back up there, Valenstein, and that knocks out the 8 and the 88. So we'll see some newcomers here to the front of the field. Green flag back out here at North Wilkesboro, and we are racing again.
Wow, 3 and 4 wide, a little dangerous,
Yep, got a car all the way out of the high lane here. Look, we're going to have some contact with the outside wall, maybe. Nope, they're able to keep it straight. A lot of drivers and a lot of different lines and a lot of levels here throughout North Wilkesboro, and we'll see how Whirl and Howl will make its way back up. We have a car almost all the way up against the wall.
I think that was McComas, possibly.
Not really sure what happened there with the 10 machine, but he is looking to... Oh, we got a wreck. David Watts and Brad Previtt.
Careful, Matt. You just took out David. So like the 10 car of Matt McComas was trying to get back onto pit road, and he unfortunately took the nose off of David Watts as he was coming around on the inside.
I believe he may get a quick repair here. Yep, there it is.
All right, so we're looking here at the Brad Previtt machine. That's the 91 there.
Oh, actually, David got into the left rear of the 91.
Let's back that up a little bit. I'm not sure he did, per se.
Oh, maybe it was a net code.
Let's just kind of watch this from David's perspective here. So it looks like what I see is that possibly the 10 car slows. So 10 car is slowing after that wall contact. 54 is riding up high. The 91, I think, is trying to figure out where he needs to be because the 10 is dropping down low. He comes up, crossing that line, and runs right up across the nose of the 54.
Yep, and at another point of this track where you don't want to get spun out, right there at that exit point. So that brings out our 7th caution of the night, and this means another track fact. So, talked about this a little bit earlier, but it was originally a dirt track from 1947 to 1956/57, and it was paved in 1957. And did you know that this is the original surface? It has never been resurfaced here at North Wilkesboro. It was only paved once. So that is your track fact, and it looks like Austin's trying to become the pace car. It looks like we have a Mustang limousine as a pace car right now, so NASCAR is getting flashy.
All right, we're going to jump off real quick for a quick commercial. You won't miss anything. We'll be right back.
When veterans get out of the military, a lot of them don't know how to translate their skill sets into the civilian world, and they lapse into poverty or into homelessness. But it can be easier with the right support. At Tech4Troop's, our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers to get back in the workforce. We want to support our veterans across the nation.
Welcome back to the Tech4Troop's Wilkesboro 200. We are on lap 82 of 200. I am Rick Souza, joined here in the booth with my co-host John DeRudris. We're under caution, and we're about to go back to green flag racing, but I do see that Tech4Troop's has joined us here in the broadcast booth. Jason, can you hear us?
And green flag racing again. Jason, you got your ears on.
I think maybe his mic is muted. Maybe he cannot hear us, but that's okay. Let's continue on with what we've got. We're back underway here, lap 83. Austin Armstrong jumped out to another great start. Ryan Pittman is right on his tail, about to try to take that lead away from him with the 89 of Paul Ballenstein running right there with them.
Don't speak too soon, Rick. We just got our 8th caution of the night.
Looks like it's Christopher Whirl is involved. Let's go back and...
Jeez.
Try to find what happened. He's trying to fight his way back up through the field.
Oh, got loose.
Hard charging there. Everybody's diving out to avoid him, but now the back of the pack is coming up.
What an awesome job.
Oh!
Well, I take that back.
Freddie Durstock was not able to get around him, unfortunately. So we are seeing Austin Armstrong on pit road.
I believe he was one of those drivers who did not come down that a few cautions ago. That's why he got the lead. So we'll see what he's able to do. Marco Berube is your lucky dog. He will be back on the lead lap, and that puts your pole sitter, Ryan Pittman, back to the point.
All right, Jason, Tech4Troop's, are you with us?
Yeah, sorry, little difficulty there, but yeah, I am just in time for that latest we'll say intro to a caution lap.
It's been a very interesting race tonight, and as we expected here with a short track, this was, it's these cars don't typically run on this track. It definitely takes a lot of driver expertise managing your throttle and brakes, so this is kind of expected, but it's a fun track to race on. So
it's been a lot of fun to watch. I knew it was going to be a ride when I saw Ian Ogden spin out there in the beginning. I know he's a little more seasoned of a racer, so to see him go to the side so quickly, I knew this was going to be a contest.
Yeah,
so
this track will definitely humble even the best of them. So
absolutely, I'm just getting in now to concentrating on the paint schemes to assign our winner for the scheme skirmish of the Speedway. But it's been nonstop action up to this point. It's been a lot of fun to watch.
Well, great. Well, we'll let you get back to that as we enjoy what's happening on the track. And John, any more fun facts for the night? Or we're going to run out of them if we keep this our eighth caution.
Yeah, we're kind of running out of track facts, folks. This track has been around for a long time, and it has had a bunch of different owners. But the current owners of the track is Speedway Motorsports. So you have Roy Cooper, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Marcus Smith, and other officials, and the owners are going to bring them back to the track here in 2023. So with Speedway Motorsports, as the owner here, with everybody involved, really the biggest track fact is the fact that they're going to be back on the track here in May. So that is your latest track fact. I got to find more, Rick, but right now we're back to green flag racing here at North Wilkesboro. Big jump for Ryan Pittman out front.
Pretty much it seems these guys, once they get off of turn 4 and they've got that lead position, they're going. They are just going. There's no reason to hang back, because you've got to separate yourself from anybody who's in traffic behind you, because there is nothing safe about being in traffic here at North Wilkesboro.
Not at all. We've seen the best of the best get involved here at North Wilkesboro in some accidents, and we saw that with Alonzo King.
So Ryan's jumped out to a pretty good lead. They're stacked up a little behind him. That's Paul Ballantyne moving into the P2 position. Outside on the behind him is Joey Doucette in the 11. The 81 of Harley Barletta is behind him, and they are battling back here for 5th, 6th, and 7th. Mark Feeney is back here. Look at the traffic back here. They are 3 wide here at North Wilkesboro.
That's a dangerous game to play, as Alonzo King's trying to make his way back up. Had some earlier issues in the race. As there goes the 21.
Ian Ogden.
Watch out, he's coming back up the track. He saved it. Great save there by the 21 machine of Ian Ogden. Not really been his night, but no caution as of yet, so we're going to keep this race green flag racing right now.
So back up with Alonzo King. He's got his lap back, and now he's working his way through the field. The same thing with Christopher Worrell. He is working his way back up from that earlier incident. Again, working his way back up through traffic.
It's a hard place to pass here at North Wilkesboro, because there's really only, you could argue there's lines, but if you want to pass, you got to be on that inside line. On the long road. The inside line is where you want to be, and right now you're seeing the 8 machine trying to go around on the outside, not able to do this.
They're wrecking.
Big wreck. Mike Slacker. Oh, no. Oh, not good. Not good. A lot of action there. I can't even form words. Now I got to find another track fact. Come on.
Well, we'll go while you're digging for a track back. We'll go back and look here and just try to bring up just what was going on there. Let's go back, and I think that was Mike Slagder in the 14. We'll back it up a little bit. He may have had some help. That happens a lot here.
All right, I got my track fact. I'm ready to go. I'm locked and loaded. All right, let's see what happened between the 14 and the 13 here. The 14 looks like he's getting loose out of turn 2. We've seen that a lot this race. He's probably going to overcorrect and slide back up the track.
Even looking at his tires, it doesn't look like he overcorrected. It's just the way the car snaps around.
Right, then there's the 1 and the 73 getting involved, and then there comes the 3.
He gets through cleanly. The 22 makes it. The 8 winds up in the wall, and then those guys back into the 8. The 14 does okay. He doesn't. Luckily, Bobby Gibson makes it through, but Mark Feeney, Luke Bullard, not as lucky.
Not as lucky. Well, Rick, got another track fact for everybody. So, 38 different drivers have won in the 93 NASCAR Cup Series races here at North Wilkesboro, with the first being on October 16th in 1949 in the Wilkes 200. Bob Flock. Bob Flock was the first winner here at North Wilkesboro in the Cup Series. So we're calling this the Tech4Troop's Wilkesboro 200. The first winner of the Wilkes 200 back in 1949 was Bob Flock. So there's your track fact, and come back for more track facts, because I believe I'll have a my sleeve, and I'm just going to prepare for it right now, because I have a slew of statistics to go off of. So we'll see what I'm able to find here about good old North Wilkesboro.
So we are at lap 100. We are halfway through this event. One of the challenges that we face here, as the drivers face here, is that they have limited incidents that they could be involved with, and once they reach that magic number of 14, they will get a drive-through penalty that they'll have to serve, which could take them a lap down.
It could, and you may see that here as this race progresses. With the intensity of the racing we have going on right now, just surpassing half a fade, we've seen a lot of action. Wargamer Shin says, "Go AJM, John Ledger." So John Ledger out there, go Average Joe Motorsports. Well, you have 2 AJM guys right there in third, in 4th, and in 5th. Here we go. Pace car makes his way down pit road, and we are green flag racing here again at North Wilkesboro in the Tech4Troop's Wilkes 200. Everybody is keeping their fenders clean, as we are now under 100 laps to go, 98 to go here tonight at North Wilkesboro. Your top 10 as it stands: Ryan Pittman, Paul Valenstein, Joey Doucette, Harley Barletta. Everybody is keeping their fenders clean, as we are now under 100 laps to go, 98 to go here tonight at North Wilkesboro. Your top 10 as it stands: Ryan Pittman, Paul Valenstein, Joey Doucette, Harley Barletta, Christopher Howell, William Mann Jr. all the way back to 6th after that incident with Christopher Whirl in 7th, John Shootman in 8th, Alonzo King in 9th, and Austin Armstrong in 10th.
You can see that gaggle of. I know the 11-11 guys are right there battling with each other for position, and you've got William Mann Jr. in the 29 right behind them in the 8 of Chris Worrell has made it back up to the front. He is in 7th position.
You know, he's impatient. He wants to get back up there. He's like, hey, I hate it back. Oh, the 80 gets to the back of the 37, and there goes the 13 to the high side. Oh, a lot of action on the track right now. And you got a lot of doors being shut. You got a lot of tempers probably raising here, and this is going to become a short track fiasco once this race continues. There is the 80 machine of Alonzo King, the machine of Austin Armstrong into the wall there a little bit. Got along that wall. You know, it's hard racing here, especially on the high side. But Austin Armstrong trying to get it done. Alonzo King trying to make that pass again. Looks like he may be successful. 13's back in the wall.
Now, each time he does that, he could lose an instant or point or two, but they're battling for a position here on lap 108 with 93 left to go. 21 of Ian Ogden was loose again coming out of that corner. Ian's struggling a bit tonight. He's doing his best to hang on to what appears to be a relatively loose car and a tough track.
I mean, he's right there. He's going to be battling for that 10th position with Austin Armstrong. Right?
Oh, Alonzo King.
And there's a caution again for Alonzo King.
Well, looks like that was a single car event. He really didn't do much damage. I don't think he really even contacted that inside wall. We can take a quick peek at that. Again, that turn 4 just tends to bite. It's easy to overdrive. You as a driver, you want to get back in the throttle, and if you're just a little bit too soon, oh, I guess he does. A little bit of contact with that inside retaining wall.
Just a little bit. Well, Rick, we are at our 10th caution with 90 laps to go, and that means another track fact. So, the last race at North Wilkesboro was held in 1996 on September 29th, and the last winner, take a guess, do you know who the last Cup Series driver was to ever win here at North Wilkesboro was?
I don't. Give us that fact, John.
My favorite driver, Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon was the final driver to win here at North Wilkesboro in the final race. So it was his only win, actually, at North Wilkesboro, because Terry Labonte, Rusty Wallace, and Dale Earnhardt were basically the top contenders for a long period of time here at North Wilkesboro, followed by Darrell Waltrip. You have Neil Bonded in there. Darrell Waltrip, I believe, at one point. Actually, I'm not going to say that track fact. I'm going to say that for the next caution that comes out, because I just discovered a track fact within just saying a track fact. So, yeah, Jeff Gordon was the last winner here in the Cup Series at North Wilkesboro. So, there is your caution number 10 track fact, brought to you by John. So,
well, take a look who's leading, who's up there, going to be the control car. Christopher Worrell has made his way back up to the front.
Yeah, and that's an interesting move because he did not come down pit road. You saw a lot of other drivers come down pit road, but this is going to shake up the field quite a bit. But, Rick, this is the deciding factor. We were told that they can go 110 laps on a tank of gas, and with the cautions that have come out, why not? Why not come down pit road, top off on fuel, and get to the end of this race? Because as this is shown, the tires aren't really falling off as much as we thought they would, simply because of the fact that we haven't had any really true long runs. So we'll see how long that 8 machine of Chris Worrell is able to stay up there in the front. Looks like it's a bit of nose damage on the left of that machine, but don't think that's going to hinder him at all as the pace car lights turn off. We're about to go live race.
Yeah,
Okay.
Freddie Durstock was the last. He was last in at lap 65. Chris Worrell last in at 87. So he's got definitely about 20 laps to the bad on his closest competitor. So, and don't look now, Hermas Castro is sitting in third.
Where did he come from? I think he learned a little something from that 8 machine actually, and he finds his way up to P3.
We are back to green. Chris Worrell jumps out to a good jump. Good start for him. A bit further back in the field here.
And the caution comes out.
Well, I think we've got a
caution of the night.
yeah, we got a number of guys that were involved. Holly Barletta, Marco Berube, David Watts were all involved. Let's try to get some.
Oh, 3 wide. Not
Oh.
good.
Nope, that's Freddie Durstock that was involved. Let's take a far chase and back that up a little bit. It may not have been Freddie's fault. Let's just kind of. So I'm watching where that car is on that dash line right there. He is really fighting for the same real estate as the 81. He was as close as he could to stay out of the way, but unfortunately, they wound up connecting, and the 81 got spun.
Yep, and let's see if the 81 collects anybody else. There's Mark Feeney, and there's Marco Berube.
They're still getting connected. The 99 is trying to avoid, but I know David Watts. Well, he stopped, made some minor contact with the 81, but nothing of anything significant. All right. Well, that's 11 cautions on lap 119. 82 laps to go. Under normal conditions, that would fly by.
It would. It would fly by in roughly 23 minutes, to be exact.
Yeah. So Ian Ogden now finds himself back at the front of the field with Chris Worrell, Hermas Castro, Luke Bullard, and Pete Woodrum, Ty Bostic, Ryan Pittman, Joey Doucette, Bobby Gibson, and William Mann Jr. as your top 10.
Wow. Well, caution comes out, and that means another track fact. So, did you know between 1981 and 1983, there were 5 races held at North Wilkesboro? In those 5 races, they were all 400 laps. Did you know that Darrell Waltrip won 5 straight races here at North Wilkesboro between 1981 and 1983, on average leading 75% of every single race? That's over 300 laps on average per race between 1981 and 1983. So, there's your track fact for caution number 11.
We are about to go back to green flag racing. Maybe you can dig and see what the average number of cautions are here at North Wilkesboro for the Cup Series.
I will do that as we speak as Christopher Worrell takes the lead here back again. We've seen that number 8 out front quite a lot tonight, and he's back up to the point.
All right, Ian Ogden is making his way around this track. Oh! That was super close. The 25 dirt tracked around it, saved it, almost tagged him, but wisely was able to back out. These guys are battling for position back here. Some of them have, that was the 22 of Ty Bostic that got a taste of that outside concrete wall. And the 12th caution is out, and it's a mess. Christopher Howell is
It's
involved.
a big one. It's a big one.
All right, we're going to pause this for a second, get a better angle here.
I believe it was the 89 of Valentine, rather.
Oh.
I heard over the radio that he kind of fishtailed.
Yep.
And hard hit for the 89 and the 14 there.
Oh, look at the damage on that right front. That toe link is gone. That tire is not even pointing in the right direction of that 88. You can see it right there, folks. It's not even turning. All right, so the 88 will be definitely due onto pit road to see if we can get that damage repaired. Now, as with any event with the Tech4Troop's Cup Series, these guys have one quick repair, and what that means is simply enough that they get a do-over. They get a chance to repair their car and get back out and compete. But on a short track like this, you've got to use that hopefully very prudently, not give that away for some minor damage, because something like that happens, especially on these cars, the toe link or that connecting rod that connects these tires is pretty much the most fragile part of the suspension. If that goes, you're done.
Absolutely. Well, Rick, I don't have the number of cautions on average here at North Wilkesboro, but I do have the most wins. So, Rick, if you could take a guess who has the most NASCAR Cup Series wins here at North Wilkesboro?
See, you always want to go with the traditional favorites like Dale Earnhardt or Rusty Wallace or a Waltrip, but sometimes you may wind up at somebody that's further on back in NASCAR history. So go ahead, John, enlighten us.
So, with 15 wins, the driver that has the most wins here at North Wilkesboro is the king himself, Richard Petty, with 15 victories. He also has the most top 5s at North Wilkesboro with 33, and the most top 10s at North Wilkesboro with 42. So the king, showing why he's called the king with just under 10% of his wins coming here at North Wilkesboro.
So I'll give you a little bit of track fact back. So the last race here, the First Union 400 that occurred here at North Wilkesboro in 96, it had a total of 3 cautions for 25 laps.
That's not the same kind of racing it used to be. Rick, up here back in the 90s, we've seen 4 times as many cautions, but
hey,
that's what happens here.
Race is not over.
Exactly. It's racing, so we'll see where we end up here. Hermat's Casper all the way up in the high line here as he's trying to get a run off the corner. As the 3 of Luke Bullard is looking to make his way to P2. What a move by the machine.
We're watching all of these guys as they're now, as I said earlier, he is riding that wall. We're going to definitely see some attrition with 70 laps to go here at North Wilkesboro. It's gonna happen.
Shout out to Angelin, always watching. Glad to have you tuned in tonight. And hello.
So unfortunately, that little incident ended up putting Christopher Howell, Marco Berube, Matt McCovis, Brad Previtt, they're all laps down. Number of drivers are out. Slagter's got some extended time in the pits trying to make some repairs, but Allen and Thompson are both out and have retired. We got 3 wide going on right here. That's the 22, the 11, and the 25.
They were able to keep it all in the right direction, and we just had our 13th caution of the night.
Looks like that's David Watts possibly involved. Let's go back and see. David, Oh, he got some
Oh.
help. That's the 28 of Bobby Gibson, giving him a little bit of a nudge there. Let's just take a little bit of a better shot there. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Not a
Just
nudge.
slight.
Maybe a shove.
Just slight contact. Just slight contact.
All right, lap 136 is in the books. 65 to go. We do have a number of drivers, not a lot, couple drivers. Ty Bostic has come down onto pit road. Pete Woodrum is on pit road. You know, with a track like this, they're just getting there to make their it looks like he's having some connectivity issues.
Yeah, that's hard to see there for that driver. Looks like the 88 is going to get his lap back, so Christopher Howell is back on the lead lap. But Rick, I got another track fact at caution number 13. So, did you know that only one time, it only happened once, but in 1994, well, not once, the last time that it happened was in 1994 by Jeffrey Bodine. He did something that is very rare to see in NASCAR. He completely lapped the entire field. In October of 1994, Jeffrey Bodine won, completing 400 laps, while in second place, Terry Labonte only completed 399. So, you know, I think if we had some green flag racing here, I don't know if we would see a complete lap here in 2022 going into 2023, but back in 1994, it was possible to lap the entire field. So that is your caution number 13 track fact. So we'll see if I'm able to dig up anything else. I mean, you pretty much know everything about this track, and if you ever go to trivia night and get asked about North Wilkesboro, well, you better remember some of the things I told you, because you should know everything here about this track, and I'm going to probably find some more. So stay tuned, and you'll have a vast array of knowledge about this racetrack.
Yeah, you can stump your friends, do it over a cocktail, bet somebody a beer. Take notes of John's track backs.
Exactly.
And you've got it.
Exactly. It'll help you out in life. So right now, what is going to help us is the fact that the pace car just turned its lights off. So we're going to go back to green flag with the 8 of Christopher Worrell back to the point with Luke Bullard, a new face to 3 here in that number 3 in P2. Ian Ogden in 3rd with Joey Doucette in 4th, and William Mann Jr. in 5th.
All right, here we go. Back to green flag racing here at Wilkesboro.
Yep, High Line did not.
No, it hung back.
Yep.
Kind of watching the traffic as they try to work through these lines. You got a lot of people battling for space. This right here is an interesting battle between the 25 of Castro, the 11 of Joey Doucette, and obviously the 3 of Luke Bullard right there in the mix. And don't forget, you got William Mann Jr. right behind them. All chasing Ian Ogden in that 21. Trying to get back up to Chris Worrell. Oh, the 13 kind of got a little funny there. Let's go back to what. Yeah, he back there was on the grass, I thought, for a second there. Got a little loose.
Just a little bit.
Back there at Paul Valentine. That was the 81 came right across his nose. Got Ryan Pittman back there as well. Ryan Pittman is currently showing in 8th place. Now, interestingly enough, Pete Woodrum, Ty Bostic, Bobby Gibson, all those guys pitted last on lap 135, but our leader pitted last on lap 87.
We'll see how that works out for the rest of these drivers here, as we have a gaggle of cars between What is that? That is like 5th and 10th right there.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
battling for position as we see the 21 starting to kind of knock on the back door of that number 8 machine with Hermas Castro in third. Castro has learned something here, and Rick, we saw a little bit of a Ross Chastain move in practice going to the high line. If this race comes down to it, I would not second guess somebody trying to pull a Ross Chastain, because they were 2 seconds faster than the fastest lap here ever recorded at North Wilkesboro. So we'll see if that's possible here tonight. If we may see a Ross Chastain-like move out of some of these drivers to get that win.
Yeah, we saw it in practice. It definitely can work. But again, you're going to have some damage. You can't be hanging on to that unless you've got a little bit of cushion with your damage model here with iRacing. So we're keeping an eye on it with 53 laps to go. We're going to duck away, John, for a side-by-side commercial. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
When veterans get out of the military, a lot of them don't know how to translate their skill sets into the civilian world, and they lapse into poverty or into homelessness. But it can be easier with the right support. At Tech4Troop's, our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce. We want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
All right, we are joining in. Well, we are joining it just as a caution. Looks like Austin Armstrong possibly was involved in this. Let's go back and see what made up our 14th caution here.
Looks like he either got turned or got really, really loose. And he got really, really loose.
Yep. Just a little bit of damage to the, maybe not much at all, slight body damage maybe, but unfortunately that did bring out a caution flag, and what that did do was allow these guys a chance to pit. So we've got...
This is going to be the last stop.
So pretty much those top guys are now on pit road. Good opportunity to get... Fuel is not so much the issue, but definitely tires.
100%. Tires are going to be the name of the game right here, as you see a lot of drivers making their way off, but Christopher Worrell there is stuck in pit road. He is going to be way back in the field after this round of pit stops.
Did he get a penalty for speeding on pit road?
I don't know, but here comes the pace car. Is he going to make it off? He did make it off pit road in time, and that was very close there by the number 8 machine. But, well, we are at our 14th caution of the night, which means you have your caution number 14 track facts. So, Rick, you probably know this because, you're in the Carolinas. But did you know that Wilkes County and the surrounding areas were known as the moonshine capital of America back in the 40s and the 50s? So,
yeah,
it's not really about the track, but it's about the surrounding area. So,
I'll give you another North Wilkesboro fact that a small home improvement chain with a blue paint scheme was started in North Wilkesboro.
Yes, it was.
That was the home.
What was the name of that?
That was the home of Lowe's Home Improvement.
Wow. Well, makes a lot of sense. A lot of good things came out of the Carolinas.
Yeah, they did relocate to NASCAR City right there in Mooresville, North Carolina, but that's where they got their start, in North Wilkesboro.
And you can see it around the track too. There's that Lowe's sponsorship on the wall, and just pretty cool to see and learn all about this stuff here about North Wilkesboro. So
the funny thing is you also see that Holly Farms logo there. Holly Farms is a chicken processing plant, and I've got a lot of folks that had worked for Lowe's, and they said when they were growing up, they only had 2 real options if they wanted the job. It was work at Lowe's or work in the chicken processing plant, and those that took the opportunity at Lowe's, many of them became Lowe's millionaires with the way that they were vested.
Wow. Well, there was one right option there, obviously.
Yeah.
So Interesting to see that. But here we go. Back to green flag racing as Ian Ogden back to the point.
With 45 laps to go, Ian Ogden has jumped to the lead. We saw him involved in earlier incidents, but he has made an amazing comeback, and we're back to caution again. Harley Barletta is involved with Mike Slagter, I think, as well.
Got into the back of the 13 there and kind of spun out. I'm surprised that brought out a caution. Never mind. I know why it brought out a caution. Yep, that's why.
Yep, he got a little loose and then took out the 14 of Mike Slagter.
Yep. Well, Rick, we are at caution number 15, and I have another fun fact about North Wilkesboro.
Well, hang on to that track fact. Let's see if Jason's here with a Tech4Troop's skirmish on the Speedway. Let's see if he's able to jump in here and tell us. If not, we'll go to your track fact. Jason, can you hear us? All right, we'll let him join us when he can. Go ahead, John. What you got?
Alrighty, so did you know that Junior Johnson was arrested for bootlegging back in the early days of NASCAR? And did you know that he won his first race at North Wilkesboro, freshly released from prison after serving a sentence for running moonshine? How fitting is that with NASCAR and their history? So, you know, you're in jail one day for running moonshine, the next day you're winning a NASCAR race. So
let me give you one more relative fact about that. Did you know Junior Johnson was pardoned by a president?
I did know that. I did know that. Surprisingly enough, that is definitely should be added on to that fact. So
yeah, Ronald Reagan.
You know.
Ronald Reagan.
The more you know. The more you know about this track and the history. I think Jason, you got you now.
Yeah, I do, definitely. I was gonna comment earlier when you said that North Wilkesboro is coming around the home of moonshine and whatnot. Well, yeah, absolutely. That's to my knowledge, that was how a lot of stock cars got started, was the souped up moonshine running rigs. Is that correct, or am I wrong?
No, that is correct.
Okay, so there you had that link right there. Well, I'm glad I had that one right, and I absolutely have a winner for this week's the Wilkesboro's 200 skirmish on the Speedway. It's going to be number 22, Mr. Bostic.
Ty Bostic in that Tech4Troop's 22. Let's get a shout out for Ty. Congratulations on Ty. Let's see what we have a better shot of that car.
Awesome scheme, love it.
Yeah,
all right,
it's looking really good. Appreciate the representation, and I'll be in touch. Look forward to being here with you guys next week and just seeing all the designs then.
Sounds great. All right, well, you're watching a restart here after caution number 15. Lots of contact between these guys at the front.
And this is where tempers may flare here at North Wilkesboro. We're getting down to it, 38 to go. This will go by quick. If we stay green, we're 3 wide. It's not going to work.
Spinning, nope.
Spinning.
Pete Woodrum possibly?
Yep, it's going to keep it down there. We're going to stay green as of right now. 37 to go. We had another car loose on the inside. He's coming back up the... Saved it. Oh, man, these guys are loose, and there we go. Another caution.
So we're seeing some interesting changes up at the front. We're seeing Ogden, Pittman, Alonzo King has made his way back up to the front. Bostic, Christopher Howell is back up front. Joey Doucette and Hermas Castro. So another yellow flag. That is 16. I'm thinking we're about to set some kind of record here. Let's go back to that yellow flag. I think David Watts and Matt McComas were involved. Let's try to get a little bit of an interesting look at this. Oh, Matt McComas just came down on top of the 54. Yep, Austin Armstrong may have seen that incident happening in front of him. Nope, he did it all by himself.
Oh, watch out. Yep. Man, these guys are having a hard time tonight at North Wilkesboro. And I gotta say one quick thing. Michael Carpenter, I was correct. That's all I'm gonna say. Ricky Norton. With 35 laps to go, we are at caution number 16. And Rick, you know, I'm kind of running out of track facts, but you know, we'll see what I can find. Actually, I just found one. Here we go. So the first race was held on May 18th. In 1947, and I said before that a crowd of 3,000 people was expected, but actually more than 10,000 people showed up to the first race here at North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, I would not be surprised. You know, I live in the Carolinas. I've been to North Wilkesboro, to Mooresville and that part of the area many times, and it's where I live. So I'm not surprised to see that. There's just not a lot that happens up in the mountains. We used to call it going up to the mountain. We met with our customers and clients up there in North Wilkesboro. So it's just, you know, if they announce a race like this, they're going to get a great crowd. And similarly, when they did the revitalization race that Dale Jr. had put together, that place was packed. I think they had over 10,000 people at that event that came to watch those modifieds run there. So, you know, it's just a fun track. So
it is, and I'm really excited to see it back on the schedule, and excited to see how this track will change and how it will look once May comes around. I hope they keep, I know I might cut out right there. I hope they keep some of the old historic elements of the track while also improving the safety of the track, Rick. So
yeah,
it'll be a great race to watch.
Yeah, I can tell you for a fact that they're doing everything they can to keep those murals and a lot of the historical aspects of this track in place while modernizing it for safety. But pace car has dropped off. We're about to go back to green. Here we go. Hopefully this is our last restart, but you know, who knows? There's a lot of guys charging to the front here. Ian Ogden just dropped off the track.
He's gone.
He's gone. So with anything, folks, quick recap. This is a simulation. We're all connected. All these drivers are connected via the internet. Sometimes with weather or something may happen, they may get disconnected. And unfortunately, like you just saw, that car disappeared. Wait, he's back.
He is back. So I'm surprised. You know, typically when you go down that long, typically you're actually put to the back of the field. So I'm surprised he's able to actually keep his position up there, but looks like his connection issues are solved.
All right, so we're watching Ian Ogden pace this field with 28 laps to go. You got Christopher Howell, Ryan Pittman right there, Joey Doucette. Luke Bullard in the 3 is still up there in the 5th position. Paul Ballenstein right behind. Sean Schupman has made his way up to the top 10. Hermas Castro is there in 8th. Mark Feeney is now showing us where he is in 8th position. And you've got Austin Armstrong, after that little spin, is now showing in 10th.
And we have a caution out on the track for the 17th time tonight.
Unfortunately, I think that was Alonzo King. I think Alonzo is doing his best to do everything he can to try and get back up to the front of the field. And turn 4. But it's been a lot of drivers tonight. All right.
Rick.
So we're going to lose 3 or 4 laps here. So in our 17th caution of the night, 26 to go, that will be down to 23 when we get back to restart it, or 22, and could just be a few. So you got a number of drivers that are coming down pit road. Hermas Castro is in. William Mann Jr. You're seeing Alonzo King come down. Harley Barletta was in, as well as Matt McComas. I think he's still in. He's trying to get some repairs done. But our leader is still Ian Ogden.
Well, Rick, I thought I was through with the track facts, but I'm not. Well, did you know that when North Wilkesboro will be completely revitalized and finished, they will have around $14 million poured into the track to improve the track. So you're looking at a $14 million investment to improving North Wilkesboro when it comes down to it at the end of their revitalization. So they're wanting this to be a long-term move. And Rick, I'm gonna ask you this: with it coming back on the schedule, holding an all-star race, question number one, do you think it's going to stay on the schedule? And two, if it does, do you think we will see a regular season race here at North Wilkesboro?
Personal opinion is not so much probably in the Cup Series, but I think it will be a stop for the Truck Series and possibly Xfinity. But I think that the Cup Series will use North Wilkesboro as a special event, like we're doing the All-Star Race or something else. There seems to be this current feeling right now within the Cup Series that they want more, since these cars are more IMSA based, they're adding more road courses in, and they're really struggling with their short track package right now in these cars today. So I would love to see it. I'd love to see it, but I'm afraid this track is so much better suited for trucks and Xfinity. But I firmly believe that North Wilkesboro deserves to be a part of the NASCAR family of active tracks and gets some dates each year.
Sure, I agree. I mean, and going back to your point, I mean, look at what NASCAR's trying to do with Project 96 for Le Mans. I mean, they're wanting a car to run in the 24-hour Le Mans there. So this car was definitely built for the IMSA style kind of racing. Pace car drops down. Ian Ogden is to the point with 22 laps to go, now 21 to go. But on the outside, Christopher Howell makes a run. Ian Ogden drives in deep with Ryan Pittman going now down below the 88 of Christopher Howell. We are approaching the last 10% of this race, so you do not want to miss a single thing. This will go by fairly quickly, folks. 20
if we stay green.
If we stay green, that's
Sorry.
No, you're right. You're correct. At this point, we may see that Ross Chastain move as the 08 is going. Didn't really get it done there. 19 laps to go. And we call on the inside. That's Luke Bullard. He is saving it. He has up the bottom wall. And he was able to keep it off the wall, but we're going to go 3 wide. Oh, it's not going to be.
Nearly 4 wide there.
Each other.
That's the
Mark Feeney's in the middle.
He is a Feeney sandwich. You got Marco Berube on the outside. And you got the 37 Shootman tagging the wall. You've got the 13 in the inside retaining wall. They're all over the place. We are still green.
I can't believe these cars have stayed in the right direction this entire process. I mean, that was incredible with the amount of action, with the bumping, the banging, and everything going on. 17 to go. Oh, the 99 sideways. Here comes William Mann Jr. to the inside. Gosh, we're close. There's the 13 getting into the 25. Oh, the 29 gets into the back of the 99 again.
They are definitely racing hard, trying to get his way around the 99. He's choosing the outside line. The 29's moved to the outside lane. Not always the fastest way around. The 13's trying it as well to get around the 37.
Yeah, this is turning into some hard racing here mid-pack, but as it stands right now, Ian Ogden with 15 to go is your leader. And Christopher Howell's in second. He is dying for that first win of the season with Ryan Pittman in third and Joey Doucette in fourth. So can Ian Ogden get a win? Can Howell get a win? We'll see who's able to do what You know, right now, Rick, any of those drivers within the top 5 can pull that Ross Chastain move and get around here and win this race. So we'll see who's able to get it done as the 08 is looking to of the 88. Your pole sitter trying to get to the front of this race.
Oh, banging. Oh, spins. The 8 has contact. He stays and holds it. He keeps it going, pointing in the right direction.
We're wrecking in 2. We're wrecking in turn 2. Somebody got turned.
Bobby Gibson, I think, got spun. Alonzo King was also involved. He must have been really involved. He's already back in the pits. Let's try to see what happened here.
Went to the inside of Mark Feeney.
Yep, and then unfortunately William Mann Jr., the 13 of Armstrong, all wound up in the wall. 13's in the wall. Bobby Gibson winds up in the grass.
Yep, everybody going everywhere, and then you got a tow for the number 80 machine. So Alonzo King will not be finished. Oh, we got more wrecks under caution. That is the 1 of Pete Woodrum, the 10 kind of getting in there a little bit of Matt McComas.
All involved.
A lot of action. Well, here we go. 11 to go. Rick, I want to say that I think that we may see a Ross Chastain move.
You're egging them on. You're hoping they'll do that, aren't you?
I'm very curious to see if it would work. Especially, I mean, we know it worked in practice, but you know,
so
what is that going to look like?
Yeah, my biggest concern is that these guys only have so much damage that they can incur on these race cars, and if they don't have if they don't have that allowance, that by going against that wall and contacting that wall multiple times, they could potentially black flag themselves and wind up being penalized for the damage.
Agreed.
But, you know, and damage has not been, you know, nobody has been immune to it. Most of these guys have had to use their quick repair. They've had to get, they've been in scraps. You can see the damage that exists on that 21 car. He's got some nose damage. He's got some side damage. You'll see scrapes all over these cars. Oh, the 88 looks pretty clean, but we know that's a repair job. He was involved in an earlier incident.
Absolutely, you are correct. And somebody on YouTube said there won't be a Ross Chastain. They'll get DQ'd if they do. Well, Rick, I think we know the admin team here pretty well. I don't know if they're somebody for making that move. I don't know if the disqualification would happen.
Will that qualify in iRacing as an accident and not put you not allow you to do that?
I don't know. We're about to find out maybe here in about 8 laps. But you know, Rick, as you were saying, we're going to come into effect. We'll see how this plays into effect with 8 to go. It'll be 7 to go at the line. Do a little math. This race would be over in about 2 minutes. 2 minutes and 20 seconds if they kept the race clean and green. But Rick, it's going to be an exciting race to the finish because Christopher Howell is looking for that coveted first win of the season. You got Joey Doucette looking to get another win in the win column. Look at Paul Valentine there as well. You never know. Maybe Bostic or Feeney could pull a move and get a win. But here we go. Racing, 7 laps to go.
Oh!
The Rex.
He spun the tires. Jumping on.
The tires.
That allowed Christopher Howell to move into first place.
Yes, it did. Christopher Howell now to the point. Looks like the 21 is struggling bad. And now Joey Doucette moves into second. Can Christopher Howell get his first win of the season? 6 laps to go.
Side by side behind him. That's all playing into Christopher Howell's hand.
Here goes Joey Doucette. He should be clear right now with 5, now 4 laps to go. We are 3 and 4 wide. The 29 is spinning to the inside. We are wrecking out of turn 2. They are wrecking big time. We're going to have a big wreck out of 2. That is Feeney.
William Mann Jr. as well. Mark Berube went off track. That's the last thing that Christopher Howell wanted to see.
He was begging for there to be a green flag finish. But as it stands right now, folks, we are going to go to some green, white checkers.
Well, let's take this time to quickly drop off to a quick commercial. You won't miss any of the replay. We'll show it to you right after. Hang tight. We'll be right back.
When veterans get out of the military, a lot of them don't know how to translate their skill sets into the civilian world, and they lapse into poverty or into homelessness. But it can be easier with the right support. At Tech4Troop's, our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce. We want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
Hello, my name is Amanda, and I support Tech4Troop's.
All right, we are back. Let's try to go back to that incident really quickly and see what we can see there. We need to follow. I guess Marco Berube probably was where we wanted to see. Let's get behind Marco and see just what we can see.
There's 29 spinning. The 73 gets into the back, and yeah, there's a lot of cars getting into. Oh, hard impact there to the inside wall.
So you got a number of guys now on pit road. That's Mark Feeney, Harley Barletta, Austin Armstrong. Harley Barletta's been in there for a good bit. He's trying to probably execute some repairs as well.
73 of Mark Feeney.
Yep. All right. So we are going to go, I'm guessing we're going to go to a green-white checker here.
Yeah, we should. I'm looking at.
So we've had 19 cautions.
Yep, 19 cautions.
Let's hope we can avoid the 20th caution.
Yeah, we will see. We will see what we're able to do here. And, one car that I'm going to be very interested in seeing how they run, that 25 car back in 7th. We know he's been able to kind of make his way back up, learn some moves. Will he be the one to potentially get a win? Will it be Valenstein trying to get his first win? Will it be Doucette repeating, or will it be a first-time win of Bullard? Or Howell? Who knows what's going to happen, but it'll be a wild.
Great. I mean, I wouldn't ask for anything better.
Well, we certainly appreciate that, and congratulations on your P2 finish. I guess we'll see you next week.
All right. See you later.
All right. That is your second place finisher, Joey Doucette with Average Joe Motorsports. And we've got our winner. Let's see if we can grab Christopher Howell here. Christopher, congratulations. You survived the North Wilkesboro 200.
Yes, I am the survivor.
And you got your first win of the season. It's been a long time coming. Run us through this wild race here in North Wilkesboro. What was your thoughts early on? You got involved with some other drivers. You ended up finishing P1. What kind of go through your race?
Early on, there was a couple quick cautions, but then there was a good green run there, and me and Chris were battling for first and second, and I thought it was going to go green for a while, and then all of a sudden, the caution started coming out, and the one restart there with I think Chris was in second and I was in third. I'm not sure what happened there, if he came across my nose or if I sent it in there, but we got caught. We caught each other there and basically took both of us to the back, and then I was just trying to battle back to the front. I started making some headway, and I got collected in something else. It was unfortunate, and then had to use a fast repair, went a lap down, got my lap back, and I just stayed out when all those guys went in, and it worked out for me because the tire fall off wasn't that great because there were so many caution laps. So that was that was really my saving grace. But I did have some speed, so it wasn't like it was given to me. So.
No, we were impressed that you were able to make your way back up. You stayed as a hard charger, and except for that early incident, relatively clean.
Yeah, I was holding 0x there for a while, and then it's short track racing. It's just a product of tight spaces, and I don't think a lot of these guys have too much experience around this group of guys on the short tracks. So it'll get better over time the more we do some short tracks. So I think this is like our second one. I think we've done Richmond in this one. So we'll get better.
Well, and frankly, this car is a little bit different for short track racing. It really is really it's just not built for short tracks. So there's a lot more driver finesse that has to take place with throttle control and management. So
yeah, I mean, this car it's really too much for this track.
Yeah, we were talking about that, and talking about how the Cup Series is going to come here up in May and everything. So it was proven tonight. These cars are a handful at North Wilkesboro, but that is what we kind of expected. But Chris, congratulations on your first win of the season. You've been close a lot of times. We've talked to you in second and third, but congratulations on getting your first win with Joey there and second, your teammate. Any shout outs or thanks you want to give tonight before we sign off?
Well, of course, I want to thank our sponsors, 1111, Veteran Project, Racing for Heroes, the sponsors for the car. And then, of course, we got our league sponsors, Tech4Troop's and U-Haul. And I'm sure I might be forgetting some other people. I think Elite Performance is one of our other sponsors for another league. And I want to thank my teammates, Joey and Harley and Ian. Ian, man, he had a hell of a race there, man. He had a chance to get the win there. It was tough. I was trying to catch him, and he was tough to catch. Third place was putting a lot of pressure on me, but I want to thank my teammates, Harley, Ian, Joey. Might be forgetting some other ones in there. Mann is like one of our William Mann Jr. is like one of our unofficial teammates. John was in the chat with us tonight. Unfortunately, he couldn't race with us, but he was helping us out with what was going on the track. And man, it just feels good to finally get a win. It's like you guys said, it's been a long time since I got a win. It was last season. And if y'all go back to last season, I think the 2 wins that I had was on short tracks. So
there you go. All right, well, that's your winner. Congratulations to Christopher Howell and winning here at North Wilkesboro in the Wilkesboro 200, and we thank you and congratulate you on your victory.
I appreciate it, guys. Y'all have a good night.
All right, you too. All right, that's our Tech4Troop's Wilkesboro 200. I know Elliot Swope has joined us. He's our league manager and commissioner. So, Elliot, heck of a race tonight. A lot of cautions.
Yeah, I like the name commissioner. Yeah, a lot of cautions. We all kind of thought there might be more cautions than normal. So that wasn't a real big surprise. Congratulations to Chris for getting his first win this season. A couple other things to go over. The Hard Charger Award goes to Freddie Durstock. The 1111 Vets Project Cleanest Driver Award goes to Ryan Pittman. So in all those cautions, Mr. Pittman only accumulated 2 incident points.
Oh, wow. That's
so
amazing.
The Cleanest Driver Award. And then, of course, this was a Dash for Cash race. And I didn't get to hear the beginning of the broadcast, but the guys driving for that were Mike Slagter, David Watts, Bobby Gibson, and Paul Valenstein. And Paul Valenstein finished the highest, so he receives the Dash for Cash award. So next week we're going to Watkins Glen. It's going to be a little different race. There won't be any full course cautions. It'll all be local cautions. So we'll see how many road race drivers we have.
That should be interesting. All right, folks. John, any parting words?
I'd just like to thank everybody for tuning in tonight and for watching the Tech4Troop's Wilkesboro 200. And also want to give a big shout out to all of our sponsors out there, Tech4Troop's, 1111 Veteran Project, U-Haul, and EPI. And if you liked what you saw tonight, if you want to see more of this racing, especially next week, where there's only going to be local caution, so there won't be 20 of them, however many we had. There's going to be locals. Tune in next Wednesday, as Elliot said, heading to Watkins Glen. Always a fun track. Same time, same broadcast network, same broadcasters from Rick and John, myself, and all of the other Tech4Troop Cup Series admin and team. We want to thank you for tuning in and have a great night.
Good night, folks.